Hello everybody, today I will discuss with you how to prepare history and culture for prelims exam. This is the session 2 of the prelims trend analysis. The question of the previous year's paper, what all topics that is being asked in the previous year's paper. In the first session I discussed with you the modern India, which is the most important section of the history and culture. And the second session, the current session is now I will discuss with you the ancient, medieval, South India and culture. So just take a look of the slides. In the last session I discussed with you modern India and modern India. In the last section I discussed with you. In this session I will discuss ancient, medieval, South and art and culture. Just a quick revision of what I did in the last lecture, in the last session of how to prepare history and culture for prelims. Then ancient, medieval, modern, culture, these are the sections, these are the sections that we cover in modern. This I have already done. In prelims they ask around 100 questions in GS, and in history when we see the previous year's paper from the last 40 years from 1979 to 2019, they ask around 15 to 20 questions, you can say. In the last year only 17 to 18 questions were asked from history and culture. If we divide these questions, what all topics in the light of the previous year's paper, what all topics are important for in preparation of history and culture, 8 to 9 questions on an average. If we consider all the years, last 40 years, 5 to 6 questions. Medieval 2 to 3 questions. Ancient 2 to 3 questions. It can increase up to 5 also. It can diminish up to 1 also. Medieval. Ancient can increase up to 5 also. In modern, maximum question that comes, which is the most important section that we already did in the last session, and culture 5 to 6 question. So, and questions related to current also, current affairs, we have to keep an eye on it as you are studying current affairs for GS. So whatever things comes related to history and culture, that we need to focus and come back and study again in detail, though we'll do in the class. Then I also explained you the type of question, that conceptual question and question based on facts, question based on checking the bent of mind and common sense of the students, that will help you to answer those. So third thing that I will discuss with you, one by one, because modern we did. Now I will start with ancient, then I will switch over to medieval, then after ancient and medieval I will do South India, South Indian history. I do it separately, like I don't do South Indian history in ancient and medieval. I do separately, like Satavahanas and Sangam and Pallavas and Cholas and Chalukyas, all this kind of Vijayanagar, Behmani, and then then I will switch over to culture, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Ancient, medieval, South and then culture. as far as the exam is concerned, prelims exam is concerned, number one is modern India, number one in priority. I will repeat it so that you remember it forever. Number one, number two in priority, number three in priority, number four in priority. Number four, modern is number one, culture is number two. Culture we study again after studying ancient medieval, because those two understandings are very important. Understanding of ancient and medieval is connected to culture. In the last session also I discussed with you the type of question from, the number of questions that is being asked from 1979 to 2019. You can see the list of the year and ancient, medieval, modern, culture. Maximum question comes from modern, and then from culture, and then from ancient, and after that in medieval. Medieval, very less number of question they ask, but they can increase or diminish it any time. It is on the discretion of the mood of UPSC. Then 2005, 4, 3, 2, 1, and till 94 you can see. For example, you see 2005, 22 questions on modern, and you see 2019, 6 questions on modern. Culture and medieval, ancient, they asked more questions. Then you see 93 to 1979, 93, 99 question from ancient, 4 question from medieval, 10 question from modern, 6 question from culture, till 1979. So we cover almost all the years question in the session that I will take for the class, along with the previous year's paper of other exam conducted by UPSC and all the PCS exams. So they keep on flipping the question from one exam to another exam. Not exactly, they've changed the word or related to that topic or the catchment area of that topic. They keep on doing such things. They don't have new questions, but they keep on doing all this, flipping the question from one exam to another exam. Ancient India, you see the graph also. The year of 2008 I have covered here, but in the exam, in the session, in the class we cover from 1979 to 2019. See, in the year 2013 and 12, there is a rise in the graph, you can see. (2012, 2013, 2011 also), but generally you keep in mind ancient 3 to 4 question, maximum 5 question, 4 question maximum, or 2 question minimum. Medieval 1 question minimum, 3 question or 2 question maximum. Modern maximum question 8 to 9 question, and culture 5 to 6 question. That will sum up to around 15 to 20 question. That varies every year. Now the topics of ancient India. It is not necessary that each and every topic is important. Yes, but we'll cover the whole syllabus. See, 3 things are very important. The previous year's paper, the reorganization of syllabus in the light of the previous year's paper, and the third is the standard material that we provide you, and NCERT. For ancient India, we suggest you to read R.S. Sharma, which is old NCERT. Old NCERT. And our material, that is Drishti IS material, which covers almost all the topic in minute details, and the classroom session that we provide you, plus the previous year's paper. Previous year's paper. and then revising and understanding the conceptual part. Conceptual understanding is very important for history. See, as far as the topics are concerned, we study sources to ancient Indian history. Source is always important, whether it comes in exam or not comes in exam. For a student of history, he should understand what are the basic sources, what is literary sources, what is the foreign accounts, what is the archaeological sources, what is secular sources, secular literature, what is religious literature, what are the foreign accounts, foreign travelers, travelogue, and what are the secular materials in the different ages. So what are the numismatic, what is numismatic, how they become the source for in reconstructing the history. So that is a basic funda which reconstruct history and a general understanding about ancient India. So this is not asked in the exam, much in the exam. Once in a blue moon you get a question. Prehistory, that is Stone Age. Stone Age. Stone Age. Indus Valley civilization, that is Harappan civilization. Stone Age is not very important. Again, I tell you, once in a blue moon you can get a question. In last, you can 15, 20 years, maybe 10 years you can, but they can ask you. They can even ask you from source also. But they keep on doing it in the topic, like, Arthashastra written by Chanakya. So it is a part of source also. So, which helps in reconstruction of history of the Mauryan period. So prehistory, we study about Stone Age, Paleolithic, and then Mesolithic, then the Neolithic, then Chalcolithic and Megalithic, and the kind of religious and the economics aspects of that period, the stone tools and all these kind of things. Indus Valley civilization is a very important topic, very, very important topic. We get many questions from such topic, from Harappan civilization, which is the another name of Indus Valley civilization. Harappan civilization. This is very important. In fact, one of the most important topic, very important, you mark it. Another is Vedic Age, very important. Very important topic. And third topic also to an extent, when we study about Buddhism and Jainism, that is the part of the rise of the 64 heterodox sects, that we connect it with culture. Even to an extent you can say is important. Important. Then Mauryan Age, it is important. Mauryan Age, the Mauryan Empire, history of Mauryan Empire. Post Maurya and Gupta period are also, we cannot, ignore this topic. So we have to read in details, especially like in post Maurya, we study about the trade that was going on, the guild system, they keep frequently asked question on that. Then the foreign ruling groups, the impact of the Central Asia, the Central Asian contacts, and the development in Buddhism, that is Mahayana Buddhism, and rise of Bhagavatism, and later on we see how Vaishnavism also arose, then the various aspects of Shaivism, all these kind of things that we find in the subsequent ages in Gupta and post Gupta period. So post Maurya period and then Gupta period, why it was a golden age, even this is important. Gupta period. So certain thing in post Maurya, certain things in Gupta period. Post Gupta period, you see, post Gupta period is also important. Miscellaneous topics, small topics, this is also. Terminology is very important. I consider it very important topic, because they give you term and they will ask you to write the meaning. The options are there. Like for example, Vishti. Vishti is forced labor. So it is, they ask you several Devadana, Brahmadeya. These are land grants, the terms for land grants, Sita land. So they keep on doing all this. The terms related to revenue, the terms related to land revenue, the terms related to peasant, the terms related to agriculture, the terms related to trade, all these kind of. So terminology comes a very important, a list of terminology. We study this terminology in the mid of the topic. At the last, we'll give you, I'll give you the list of the terminologies, 70-80 terminologies that you should keep in mind, which are asked in the previous also, and there is a high probability that they can ask you in future also. Then topics related to current affairs, anything which is coming in current affair, any excavation taking place or something like that which is in the news, they are asked in the exam if it is very important. Otherwise, we generally read current affairs, you keep an eye on it, something happening in the topics of ancient India, anything related to it. So these are the topics. Just take a look once again. Then you see. So what all you need to focus on? Indus Valley Civilization, Vedic age, few things on pre-Maurya, few things in post-Maurya, Mauryan age, very important, Gupta and post-Gupta, few things. That I will come into detail when I'll discuss each and every topic. Then sources to ancient Indian history, already I discussed with you, archaeological source, literary source, foreign account, travelogue. This is to an extent is very important. And then literary source also. So reading about it, and in the mid of the topic, other topics also I will discuss with you. So just as a student of history, this is very important because sources are very important topic. Is a very important topic. Foreign account, just a Yun Sang, Fine, okay. Then the literary sources, which is secular and religious sources, all these types of things, archaeological sources, caves and pillars and the coins and these things, the palaces, the temples. So this also gives an information about history, the importance of the source. Mainly we study it in detail in the optional paper, the relevance and the critical analysis of the sources of ancient Indian history and the approaches of the ancient Indian history. Prehistory. As I already discussed with you, the Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, the Neolithic, you have to focus on here. Then Chalcolithic, Megalithic, various methods determining the dates like carbon 14 and the fossils and the technological basis of the Stone Age. Important sites, this you need to focus on. Sites and the types of tools used in different ages. Cultural traits of Stone Ages. Cultural traits. Agriculture and domestication, pottery culture. Religious, and this also you need to focus. Religious beliefs and cultural, burial practices. Burial practices. This topic is not an important topic, but since it is the part of the syllabus, we have to cover it. And in this, what all things you need to focus, as I told you, Neolithic, we'll do all. Neolithic, and how it was called as Neolithic Revolution and what are the important features of this period. Important sites and types of tools and the technology that was used for making the tools. Pottery culture and the religious beliefs and burial practices. कैसे dispose करते थे to the dead ones. So this is Stone Age. इसको Stone Age लोग पढ़ते हैं इसमें basically. Stone Age सब करेंगे ये सब. Indus Valley Civilization, most important topic. These are the questions, the topics from where the topics that we study in the Indus Valley Civilization. If you see origin of Indus Valley Civilization, there is a debate. They don't ask this origin in the exam, but being a student of history, we should understand how did it originated as a conceptual understanding about the topic. Then chronology and phases like of Harappan civilization, like the early Harappan, the proto Harappan, the mature Harappan phase, the late Harappan phase, the declining phase, that all we study here in the chronology. So chronology is also important, where we study the features of these ages. Then decline of Indus Valley civilization. In the decline, different scholars gave different opinion, earthquake and geological changes, and the climatic changes, global warming, foreign invasion, and Aryan invasion, all this kind of theory that they have given for the decline of the Indus Valley civilization. Then important evidence and finding. This is very important. You have to focus on that. What are the important evidence and where it was found? Like, for example, the different sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangan, Chanudaro, Lothal, different sites, and what are the important things that was being discovered there? What are the important findings, references that you need to focus on? There is a exhaustive session on this. Discovery and excavations. Who are the discoverers and excavators of different sites and different things, like the different sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, who discovered, and what are the riverine location of such sites. This is very important. They ask question from this particular thing. Important personalities and their works, like for example different personality, Marshall and Poschel, and then Wheeler, and all these Dayaram Sahni, these people, Rakhaldas Banerjee, all these people and their work, इनके नाम और इनके काम क्या क्या है, उस पर फोकस करेंगे. So this is also important. Main features of Indus Valley civilization, like characteristic features of Indus Valley civilization. Then pottery pattern is also important. इसमें कुछ छोड़ा नहीं जा सकता है. Burial practices is also very important. कैसे दफनाते थे या क्या तरीका था डिस्पोजल का ह्यूमन बीइंग के. Language and script is also another thing very important. Domestication of animals. They keep on asking about horse, the teeth of horse, the jaw of horse. UPSC एक टाइम घोड़े के पीछे ही पड़ गई. कभी हड्डी के बारे में पूछ रही है, कभी दांत के बारे में, कभी जॉ के बारे में. And especially there are some debatable topic also whether that evidence is there or not. Then agricultural practices and crops, even this is important. You can just take a look of it. Then stone technology. Stone technology is important. Metal technology is important. Weights and measure is important. You cannot leave it. Seals and beads. Bead making factory is also there. Seals are used for artistic purpose and religious purpose. And famous Pashupati seal, when Lord Shiva is sitting on a stool and the animals have flanked around him, and that Pashupati seal, which is called as Proto Shiva by Marshall. So we find the different seals and the kind of seal, how the seal of Harappa civilization is different from Mesopotamian civilization, because during the contemporary civilization was Mesopotamian civilization. In the main exam, once they compared this, they made a question which was based on the comparison between the Mesopotamian civilization and the Harappan civilization, that we study in the origin of Harappan civilization. That will cover that main question also, though they generally don't ask a question from ancient India, but in context to culture they keep on asking, and they can ask in future. Craft centers, it is important. Structural architecture, ये छोटे छोटे हैं. Geographical distribution of the sites, this is important. Places and their riverine location, like Harappa is located around which river, Lothal is located around which river, then the Mohenjo-daro and these sites are located around which river, because civilization developed in the catchment area of this river, which facilitated them for agriculture, irrigation facilities, and water availability, which was useful for the livelihood of the people living in those areas. Places and their riverine location is important. They have asked in these in the exam. You can see port zone, society, custom and amusement. Reading these things, just read, which I called it. Just read it so that a broader understanding develops. Cosmetics, dress and ornaments. Religion is important. Metal tools, weapons, terracotta figurine is important. Trade and first urbanization. This is first. Indus Valley civilization had first urbanization in India. This is very, very important. Trade, internal trade, external trade. Town planning is very important. Town planning is very, very important. Main feature of the Indus Valley civilization that I was discussing with you in this slide, the main features of this civilization. These are the main features, you know. Town planning, structure, urbanization, trade is happening. Then, you know, secular culture, settlements with specialities of the town planning. Towns associated with various industries. What all industries are located in which all towns? This is also, you know, important. Late Harappan pottery and culture, references to the Vedic texts related to Harappan civilization. How, you know, Haruyupia was the name mentioned in Vedic text, which is called as Harappa. So what are the references that we find in the subsequent period in the Vedic age? That is very important. Relation with other civilization, that is Mesopotamian civilization. So before we take a look to the previous year's paper, you can see that in 94, 2010, 2002, 98, 2013, 2017, you see the question that was being asked. Then you see 94, 2010, 2002, 98, 13, 17. These are the questions that they ask in the from ancient India. Then take a look to the previous year's paper. See, which is the correct chronological order in which the following appeared in India? This is a question, you know, which is related to the mixed topic of different topics of in ancient India, and we find that, you know, various references are given here. Gold coins, punch mark coins, iron plow, urban culture. So we find question from pre-Maurya also, we find question from Indus Valley also. Then, you know, gold coins also, you know, in the Gupta period, large number of gold coins were issued. So it is a general question, you can say. This particular question is a general question that is asked in 1998. Now you see, regarding the Indus Valley civilization, consider the following statement. It was predominantly a secular civilization and a religious element through the present and did not dominate the scene. During this period, the cotton was used for manufacturing. The second statement, manufacturing the textile in India. Which of the statement given above is correct? This type of understanding based question, that what are the main features of the Indus Valley civilization. Now you see, which of the following characteristics the people of the Indus Valley civilization. Now again it is connected to the characteristics of or the features of Indus Valley civilization. So this type of question they ask. The conceptual question in 2013, you see, it is asked on the Indus Valley civilization, which is a very important topic for civil service, for history in ancient India. Now the next is a Vedic age. Vedic age, see, they have asked in 99, 96, 94, 2011, 95, you know, 2012, 4, all 17. Now you see the different topics of Vedic age. Homeland of Aryan is an important topic. There is a debate also on the homeland of Aryan. Meaning of the word Aryan, they asked a question. And their racial characteristics, how they used to look, what are the main features, what was the vital stat and stuff. So early and later Vedic settlements. Vedic literature, very important. Rig Veda, then Samveda, then Yajur Veda, Tharv Veda, Upanishads, and, you know, Aryanakas, and Vedic text literature is divided into Smriti and Shruti and Smriti, and, you know, the Upanishad, Aryanakas, and, you know, the Brahmanas, all these kind of literature that we have to focus, and the references in the literature. 6 Vedangas and Upanishad, this is also important. They keep on asking. Ved Angas, Ved ke Ang, how to read Vedas, that helps in reading Vedas. Vedic tribes, it is also, we need to have a look on Vedic tribes. They've asked a question also. Society of early and later Vedic period. Then religion of early and later Vedic period. This is very important. Religion of early and later Vedic period. Economy of early and later Vedic period. Political system of early and later Vedic period. These are the things that we cover. Vedic assemblies, important. Vedic sacrifices and rituals, like the sacrifices like the Vajpaya and Ashwamedha and all these Purusha Medha, these sacrifices that we study, that was happening during the time of Vedic period. So society, culture, religion, these things we need to focus on. Then another, see, Vedic priest. They have asked a question. Vedic deities, who are the important deities? Vedic deities, Vedic god and goddesses. Vedic philosophy, like they have asked a question from Vedic philosophy, the philosophy that was developed after the development of the Upanishad. The references and evidence in Vedic texts, in Vedic literature, that we will discuss. Geographical areas known to Aryan. What are the geographical areas that is known to Aryans? This is also important. Territorial division in the Vedic age. Rivers and their ancient name. This is also important. Terms mentioned in Rig Vedas, the number of times that are being mentioned, and what all those terms mentioned which are mentioned frequently. Description of non-Aryans. Various Aryan priests. Types of marriages. This is important. They have asked in the exam. जो मैं टिक कर रहा हूँ समझ लीजिए वो पूछा गया, और ये सब साल हैं जिससे क्वेश्चन पूछे गए हैं. 99, 96, 94, 95, 2011, 93. These are in the side, it is given there. Terminologies, again this is important. They focus on terminologies, like terminologies mentioned in whole ancient India. Previous year's paper, again the term Aryan denotes. देखिए इधर बोला था मैंने आपको, मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड आर्यन आ गया ना इससे क्वेश्चन. IAS UPPCS में भी आया 1999. Then you see, which of the following custom emerged during the Tetrad post Vedic period? Again another question. Religion of early Vedic Aryans was primarily religious से है. Worship of nature and yajna is the very important, this is the correct option. This is a part of religion basically. This question is a part of religion of the Vedic period, the Aryans especially. Pre-Maurya period. Pre-Maurya, starts from the 600 BC to 300 BC, and Indus Valley civilization, the Vedic age from the period of 1500 to 600 BC. BC is before Christ, and before that Indus Valley civilization 2550 BC to 1500 BC, and before that 2550 the Stone Age that we were doing, the all period, Paleolithic and Mesolithic, Neolithic, Chalcolithic, Megalithic, the overlapping phases also that I'll discuss with you. Pre-Mauryan period. These are the topics that we study. Pre-Maurya period, Buddhism and Jainism that we study in culture. Factors for the rise of Mahajanapadas in 6th century BC. This understanding के लिए that you need to know. 16 Mahajanapadas, important republics during 600 to 300 BC. Rise of Magad and Magadhan imperialism, that is expansion of Magad. Magad engulfed other Mahajanapadas through imperial exercise or through the matrimonial alliances. Magadhan dynasties, there are Haryanka and Shishunaga, Nanda dynasty, and then Nandas were overthrown by Maurya, and then Maurya developed into an empire. Factors for the rise of heterodox sects, this is important. Buddhism, and this we study in the culture we study. So these topics are very, very important in this particular thing, that you need to focus on these things. See, there is a general reading for broader understanding, and then there is a reading in which you need to focus more. You have to study minute thing in that particular topic. So question asked from this topic: economy and society in 6th century BC, the phase of second urbanization. ये सब जानना है, इस पे focus करना है. Trade and second urbanization, emergence of guild system for the first time, and we find the question from guild in the post Maurya period, the development of trade and guild system. Guild is a group of, you know, the traders and the artisans and the craftsmen. Coinage, the first time, you know, the punch mark coins we see in this period, in the pre-Maurya period, that is the period from 600 to 300 BC. Then Persian and Greek invasion also taking place, and the impact of the Greek invasion, this is Alexander's invasion, सिकंदर का जो हमला हुआ था, and the impact of that invasion. Just reading and understanding it broadly, but focus on the areas which I told you, which I marked. This is also to an extent. Take a look of the previous year's paper. Which one of the following was initially the most powerful city-state in India in 6th century BC? Again, this is a question of Mahajanapadas and republics that was developed. IS 1999. Take a question. Which one of the following dynasties was ruling in North India at the time of Alexander invasion? Alexander ने जब हमला किया तो कौन सी dynasty rule करी थी? Nandas were ruling. And this dynasty is the part of Magadhan dynasty. वो हम लोग उधर कर लेंगे. देखिए आप, मगधन डायनेस्टी, कुछ भी नहीं छूटेगा. This is my guarantee. You see here, मगधन डायनेस्टी, इससे क्वेश्चन पूछे हुआ है. The next topic is Maurya, Mauryan age. See what all things that we need to focus on Maurya. Origin of Maurya, just for understanding. Sources, this you need to focus on. Sources क्या क्या है Mauryan, like Arthashastra. Political history of Maurya. See, one thing I will tell you, they do not focus more on political and military, you know, history. In whole history, they do not focus on these political history and military, but we have to study. They more focus on socio-cultural, economic, and, you know, agrarian, subaltern, peasants, working class, on these kind, architectural, these kind of things that they focus more. So political history we study about, you know, the Chandragupta Maurya and Bindusara and Ashoka and the later Mauryans. That all we need to focus. Kalinga War and its significance, how it changed Ashoka, and how Ashoka became Dhamma Ashok from Chanda Ashok, how he adopted Dhamma as a policy. Nature of state, this is important. Nature of state of Maurya and Mauryan administration. Nature of state in Mauryan administration. ये कैसा, क्या nature था Mauryan administration का? How there was centralized and, you know, horizontal and vertical and pyramidal and decentralized, bureaucratic, complex administrative machinery. So we find that here. Then Ashokan inscription, very important. This is the most important, you can say, very important. You have to focus on. Like who deciphered Ashokan inscription? James Prinsep in 1837. That they have asked. Ashoka's policy of Dhamma, very important. How it held in the political unification of the Mauryas. Then the socio-economic and religious condition you have to read. Decline of Maurya, there is a debate again. I'll discuss in the class. Later Mauryas. After Ashoka, the rulers are called as later Maurya. See the previous year's paper. Who of the following had the first to decipher the edicts of the Mauryan? Just now, you know, 2016. James Prinsep is the correct answer. I'm just giving you some questions. The time will not permit me to give all the question that I have covered. I will cover in the session from 1979 to 2019. It is not possible. So few sample of question so that you understand it well. Which one of the following script of ancient India was written from right to left? Another question from that script and language. Which one of the following statement regarding Ashokan's stone pillars is incorrect? Again, pillars and edicts and these kind of things that they ask. These are the part of architectural structure. See, here I have not written the topic of Mauryan architecture. That I will cover in culture. Mauryan art and architecture. There, this question again I will discuss with you when I teach that topic, Mauryan architecture, by showing, you know, the pillars and what are the part of the pillars and what are the important, what is capital, and you know, all these kind of things. Consider the following statement. Last Mauryan ruler was Brihadrat. Again, political history wala question hai ye. Brihadrat was assassinated by Commander-in-Chief Pushyamitra Sunga. Last Sunga ruler Devabhuti was assassinated by his Brahmana minister Vasudev Kanva. Kanva dynasty was there. Indigenous dynasty, the Sunga dynasty and Kanva dynasty. The last ruler of Kanva dynasty was deposed by Andhras. So here all the three statements are right. So it is related to the political history of the Mauryas. Now the post Maurya. So in Maurya you need to remember what all things you need to focus. The edicts, the broader understanding of the Kalinga war, the change of the mindset of Ashoka, and you know, mainly the Mauryan architecture that we study in culture, and policy of Dhamma, the inscriptions and the edicts of Ashoka, and decline of Maurya, origin of Maurya. These are all things that we need to focus on. Now the next topic is post Maurya. Post Maurya period is, you know, the Maurya period was from the 300 BC to 200 BC, and the post Maurya period is from 200 BC to 320 AD. That is when Gupta period starts. In the post Maurya age, Maurya ke baad, these all things that you need to focus on. Foreign ruling groups, because the foreign ruling groups came to India. The political history of the foreign ruling groups, just, you know, reading broadly and reading thrice, 4 times, they don't ask much question from here. Indigenous dynasties that like Sunga and Kanva, jo andar yahan ki jo dynasties. Impact of foreign contact, this is very important. Economy, this is the most important thing, most important. That is, you know, trade, town and guild system and craft, these kind of things. Religion in post Maurya, Bhagavatism, and the division in Buddhism, that is the rise of Mahayana Buddhism, in which Buddha was considered as God and he was worshipped, his image was worshipped. So this is also important here. Society in post Maurya period, you know, the new element in society like Vratya Kshatriya was, you know, introduced by the Vratya Kshatriya, the second grade of Kshatriya, the second grade Kshatriya, when the foreign ruling groups came to India, and you know, they were not, you know, clubbed in the Brahmanical order. So finally, you know, the Brahmins, they instituted a sacrifice called as Vratya Stoma, and through that this class was called as Vratya Kshatriya, the second grade Kshatriya. The foreign ruling groups who is coming from you know, like, you know, Indo-Greeks and, you know, Kushans and others, that here we discuss about it. So इसको पढ़ना है, political history को पढ़ना है, ये सब चीज़ें इस पे focus करनी है. This is not a very important topic, but few areas are very important. They keep on asking from that area. Like with reference to the invaders of ancient India, which one of the following is the correct chronological order? Greek, Sakas, Kushans, Greek, Kushans, Sakas. Very general question they ask, very general, because see, the scope is not there. there is scope for 2 to 3 questions only. उसमें भी Indus Valley Civilization और Vedic Age एक क्वेश्चन ले ही लेता है, 2 क्वेश्चन ले लेगा, तो the scope is not there. So in the post-Maurya period, the Buddhist architecture, that is the Gandhara and Mathura school of architecture, Gandhara is sculptural architecture that they focus on, that is Buddhist architecture, and Amravati school of architecture. So they don't focus much on these areas, on political history and stuff like that. So the first is the right option. So you need to broadly understand it, read it, without going into much details about the political history. Gupta Age. Gupta Age starts from 320 AD and then it ends in 550 AD. Topics of this period. Origin of Gupta, how Gupta originated, what is the meaning of the word Gupta. Gupta Age as a golden age, very important. Why it was called as golden age? Because there was overall development, political stability, and there is a critical analysis also of the Gupta Age. Why it was called as a golden age, that I'll discuss with you. Development of science and technology, development of art and architecture, development of literature. It was a golden period for Sanskrit literature and all these things that was there in the Gupta period. So we'll study about it. Political history, as usual, they don't focus much, but we have to study that. Gupta administration, economy of Gupta, social and religious development in Gupta period. This we need to focus on, economy in Gupta period, the trade and land grant system, development of science and technology. This we need to focus on in Gupta period. Literature we need to focus on Gupta period. Gupta coins is very important. They ask in the main exam also. Gupta coins, the kind of coins they issued. Huna invasion, that is the foreign invasion. Again, the invasion happened and that became a very important reason for the decline of the Guptas. The land grant, a few years back also, the kind of land grant that was asked. क्या क्या नाम होते हैं, term क्या होता है, देवदाना, ब्रह्मदेया, all these kind of land grant that was, which further gave rise to feudalism. Then the decline of the Gupta Empire, the reason for the decline of the Gupta Empire, because of the decline of trade and the emergence of feudal trend that I will discuss with you in the class when I teach the topic. This is about Gupta Age. Gupta Age में हम लोग ये सब चीज़ें कवर करेंगे, सब कवर करेंगे, लेकिन these are the important areas that I told you. इसमें architecture नहीं है, that I will discuss with you in the culture section, that is Gupta architecture. And painting also. This was Gupta period going on. These are the important things, and then after that we discuss post-Gupta. Gupta and post-Gupta together we study. Post-Gupta, Harsha and his time, this is very important. Foreign travelers that came, during the time of Harsha. Social, political, economic and religious aspects in post-Gupta period. Just a broader understanding to it. Transition phase from, medieval, ancient time to medieval time. The literary development during the time of Harsha Charita and other things, the sources of reconstruction, the period of how Harsha was a great king, how he was the last great king of ancient India, and how he tried to save what are the important dynasties during this time. All these things that we need to focus on. Let us take the question. The Chinese traveler Yun Chuan, that is Yun Sang visited during the time of Harsha. So this is related to the post-Maurya question. The foreign travelers, what was the things was written by him. The travelogues recorded the general condition and the culture of India at the time. In this context, which of the following statement is correct? The roads and river routes were completely immune from robbery. See, when I teach you post-Gupta period, I will teach you about Yun Sang and how Yun Sang visited Harsha court, how he influenced Harsha, he became a Buddhist, and the impact of Yun Sang's on the mind of Harsha, the ideology of Harsha, and how he was a Shaiva earlier, how he became Buddhist, and the contribution of Yun Sang, all this kind of thing that I'll discuss with you. How there was a rise of Harsha as a great power, how he was able to integrate North India. by defeating adversaries, because after the Gupta period there was a rise of small dynasties, and these dynasties were defeated by Harsha, and Harsha tried to integrate the North India. But because of the feudal trends and the other political exigencies, there was decline of Harsha, and there was emergence of the feudalism in the later period we see. As regard punishment of the offense, orders, so I was just discussing the question, as regard to the punishment for the offense, ordeals by fire, water and poison were instruments of determining the innocence of the guilt of person. Third statement, the tradesmen had to pay duties at ferries and barrier stations. Select the correct answers using the codes. बोल रहा है कि कौन सा इन तीनों में से सही statement है. These two statements are correct, because the roads and river routes were completely immune from robbery. It was not the case, because the foreign travelers who came, they were even looted by these robbers. So the option is the 2 and 3 is the right option. So this question comes from post Gupta period. We do not find much question from this topic, but yes, some important areas like rise of Harsha and all that, and the foreign travelers, that we need to focus on. Is miscellaneous topics of ancient India. What are the miscellaneous topics of ancient India? You can just check it out. Inscription, very important. Inscription, all the inscriptions of ancient India. Then coinage of ancient India. Coinage of ancient India. Women in ancient India, right from Vedic period till post Gupta period. The name of the women and what for what all things they were famous. Trade and trade routes in ancient India, this is also important. Terminologies is very important, as I told you. Terminologies, all the important terminologies related to trade, irrigation, agriculture, peasant, political terms, taxes, fiscal policies, related to fiscal policies, various references and law books, various terms related to societies and economy, education and educational institution like Nalanda and Takshila, Kanchipuram, etc. Science and technology of all the period of ancient India, right from the Indus Valley civilization till post Gupta period. Then various sports of ancient India, topics related to current affairs. What all things coming in the current affairs in the art and culture section or in ancient, medieval or modern, that you need to focus on. You have to keep an eye on it. So even that is important. So in the miscellaneous topic, these all things that you need to focus: inscription, coinage, women, terminologies, trade and trade routes. Like trade in ancient India, what are the important trade routes? Uttarapatha, for example. Terms used for land, peasants and irrigation, this is very important. जमीन के लिए क्या टर्म है, peasants के लिए क्या टर्म है, irrigations के लिए क्या टर्म है. Then terms related to guild. Guild, I told you, is a group of artisans and craftsmen and the traders. And the guild emerged in the pre-Maurya period, and finally we see the emergence of guild to a large scale and the system in the post-Maurya period. That is very important. Once they ask the question also from that topic. Caste, class and profession is also important. Important manufacturing centers of ancient India. Various kinds of taxes. This is also you need to focus. After studying whole topic, miscellaneous topic, will focus on these topics so that we get maximum question, because I told you they don't focus on political and military history. They focus on these things only. They focus on these things. The questions are made from these things, these topics. Various types of slaves. This is also important. Various reference of law books. Foreign travelers and their accounts. This is very important. All the foreign travelers in ancient India and what are the travelogues left by them, what all details that you have given, and that is also a source to reconstruct ancient Indian history. Literature, literary sources in ancient India. various dharma sutras, various smritis, philosophical literature, Sanskrit dramas and plays, books on polity, various eras they asked a question. Then smritis they asked a question. Books on polity like Arthashastra is one of the book, Kamandaka for example. Various dynasties, अलग अलग डायनेस्टीज पूरे एंशियंट इंडिया में कौन कौन डायनेस्टी है, किसके कौन फाउंडर है, डायनेस्टी एंड द फाउंडर, इस पे थोड़ा नज़र रखना है. यू हैव टू कीप एन आई ऑन दैट. दीज आर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स. फिर से दिखा दे रहा हूँ एक बार, जस्ट टेक अ लुक ऑफ इट. ओके, so we are doing two ways. We are doing the topics also from one to last, and at the same time miscellaneous things, focusing those things, so that we can get sure we can get a questions. Because see, in ancient medieval sometime it becomes difficult. In GS modern it is studied by everyone, but in ancient medieval culture sometime it becomes difficult. So we'll do that ways so that you get a question in the exam. You get almost all the question in the exam, God willing. Previous paper, which of the following is not a Harappan site? ये मिक्स में है इसलिए इसमें दिखा दिया मैंने आपको. Reliefs of in sculptures of Ranyo Ashoka, King Ashoka mentioned along the stone patriot. This is related to Mauryan Empire. With reference to the forced labor in India during Gupta period, which one of the following statement is correct? Again Gupta period se. This is the question. Vishti, that is forced labor. It is a part of economy. So they focus on economic issue, cultural issue, all these kind of things. Agrarian issues, land revenue, land settlement, peasants. Now I will discuss with you medieval Indian history. Ancient India we did. See the question, the graph of the question. You see there is a spike in 2015. There is a spike in 2015. 2016, 17, 18 also 19 also we have 2 questions from medieval India. Again in medieval India, one thing I would like to tell you, that they focus mainly on economic, socio-economic, administrative nature of state, and agrarian, type of peasant, type of trading classes in medieval India, science and technology in medieval India, these kind of things they focus on, rather than focusing much on political and military history. That just you can read twice, thrice, and focusing more on that area. That I'll discuss with you. These are the topics. Sources, as I told you, is always important. Sources to reconstruct Delhi Sultanate, sources to reconstruct early medieval India like Raj Tarangini, Al-Biruni's, Tariqul Hind, Kitabul Hind. Al-Biruni was he came to India along with Mahmud Ghazni. Then we see early medieval India, the next topic is. Then Delhi Sultanate is another topic. Regional kingdoms, Sher Shah and his times. Then Mughal Empire. Special focus on the policies of Sultan. This you need to focus, special focus on policies of Sultan. You need to focus on Mughal Empire. You need to focus on Delhi Sultanate and early medieval. These are the topic of Delhi Sultanate and Mughal Empire and special policies. The 3 topics. These are very, very essential. Delhi Sultanate is a main topic. Mughal Empire is a main topic. And a special focus on policies of sultans and kings. This is another thing. Sources also they ask question Mughal literature, Persian literature, then the literature developed in the sources developed in early medieval India, and the Mughal Empire also, Delhi Sultanate like Tariq-e Firoz Shahi, and the sources to reconstruct Mughal history, the historiography basically, that I'll come and discuss with you later on. Then Maratha is also, because they mainly ask from Anglo-Maratha, or rise of Maratha, or to an extent Ashtapradhan, the administration of Marathas, they ask question. Miscellaneous topics of medieval India, this is very important. Topics of terminologies, this is extremely important, very very important. Topics related to current affairs, as I told you, whatever comes in the current affairs, you just keep an eye on it, keep noting down. Sources to this is medieval Indian history. Major literary works of early medieval and Delhi Sultanate and Mughal. Treatise on mysticism, works of the ruling class of Delhi Sultanate, ये important है. Historiography of Sultanate and travelers account, you need to focus. There will be a list of this Mughal literature or literature developed in the Delhi Sultanate, and that they acted historiography basically, that they were used for reconstruction of the history of medieval India, early medieval India. This is the topic. See the question asked in 2006, 95, 2017, 16. Here we focus on feudalism, very very important. They ask a question. North Indian dynasty is not very important. Tripartite struggle, Pala, Pratiharas and Rajputas, that we focus on. Dynasties of Deccan, South Indian dynasties. Origin of Rajput we focus on, and the dynasties of Rajput. Arab annexation of Sindh, that is annexation done by Muhammad bin Qasim. Ghaznavide invasion. Here in this context we studied the Al-Biruni's description of India. This is important. Ghorid invasion, that invasion of Muhammad Ghori and defeat of Rajputs at the hand of Muhammad Ghori. In the first battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori was defeated by Prithviraj Chauhan. In the second battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori defeated Prithviraj Chauhan. And what are the basic reasons of that defeat? Why they were defeated? All this kind of significance of Ghaznavide invasion, significance of Ghorid invasion. What was the role of Al-Biruni? How Kitabul Hind is useful for reconstruction of history of early medieval times. Social and economic aspect, factors for the defeat of Rajputs. These things that we need to focus on. What all I tick is very important. This is very important. Feudalism. Questions asked from Delhi Sultanate. Factors for the foundation of Delhi Sultanate. Dynasties of Delhi Sultanate, that is Ilbari, Khalji, Tughlaq, Sayyid and Lodi. Political history of Delhi Sultanate, they do not ask much, but you have to focus on sultans, right from Qutbuddin Aibak, he was a ruler, he was not a sultan. Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, and then Razia Sultan, and then Balban, and Alauddin Khalji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, all these sultans which are very important in this political history, and their policies. You have to focus on the policies. Then theory of kingship of Balban, what are the content and characteristics of it. Significance of the Battle of Panipat, that is the first Battle of Panipat. Iqtidari system, it is the administrative and military system, Iqtidari system, that I'll teach you, very important. Iqtidari system. Nature of state is important. Land revenue is very very important. Land revenue, very important. Trade, agriculture, these things need to be focused on rather than focusing much on political history of Delhi Sultanate. Then types of nobilities in Delhi Sultanate, relation of Sultan with nobilities, relation of Sultan with ulemas, just a basic understanding, conceptual understanding. कितने तरह के नोबिलिटीज़ होते हैं, क्या रिलेशन है सुल्तान का नोबिलिटी के साथ, क्या सुल्तान का उलमास के साथ. उलमा, see two forces dominate in Delhi Sultanate, ulemas and the nobility. Nobility is called as, you know, the Ahle Saif, and the ulemas are called as the Ahle Kalam, that is the men of pen, and the nobility is called as men of sword. Then military and judicial department, history of gunpowder and artillery. This is also important. They have asked a question. Market regulation, market policies, regulation of market by Alauddin Khalji, and other policies also. Experiments done by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, very important. Religious and welfare policies of Firoz Shah Tughlaq, religious policy and other policies, how it were responsible for the decline of the Delhi Sultanate. Economic, military and administrative reforms of Alauddin Khalji, very important. The military reforms, you know, Dag and Chehra that he included, how, you know, his imperial thirst resulted into market regulation and what all military reforms he did. Social and economic life of Delhi Sultanate. This also we will have to conceptually understand it. Regional kingdoms. So iske baad Delhi Sultanate is a very important topic, as I told you. Okay, and then, you know, you see regional kingdom is not a very important topic. Even when, you know, history was the topic for optional subject in prelims also, then also they don't used to ask much question on the regional kingdoms. Just here you can say Bahmani, Vijayanagar and Bahmani, that is the part of the South Indian. Mainly South India we study. These are the things that we need to study. This is not a very important topic, to be very frank, and regional architecture also we study in culture. Sher Shah in his time, it is an important topic again. Rise of Sher Shah, Sher Shah's conflict with Humayun, it is important. Sher Shah's administration, works of Sher Shah, this is very important, with special focus on land revenue. How it influenced Akbar's land revenue system. The important revenue terms that developed Sher Shah's administration, what are the titles taken by Sher Shah, Hazrat Allah for example. Successors of Sher Shah. Mughal Empire. Political history, see these are the number of question asked in this years 93, 97, 94, 14, 96, 2002, 98, 2003. Political history of Mughal Empire. It is not very important, as I told you, political and military history they do not ask. So you can just read it thrice, 4 times, and then focus area on land revenue system, very very important. Akbar's land revenue system especially, and in reading Akbar's land revenue system you need to focus on Sher Shah, and then, you know, going back from, you know, Alauddin Khalji and then Sikandar Lodi and then, you know, Sher Shah and then Akbar, and the whole land revenue system of Mughals and the terms associated with it like Ghalla Bakshi, Dehshala, Kankut. These are the important. Rajput policies of the Mughal. This also focusing more mainly on Akbar. Akbar, Aurangzeb, focusing on them. Deccan policy, mainly again Akbar and Aurangzeb, though we study about all the kings of Mughal Empire. Religious policy, you know, these are important. Religious policy of Akbar, Aurangzeb. Akbar is always important. Social religious policy of Akbar, welfare schemes of Akbar, his progressive ideology and religious policy में वही सब दीन इलाही, इबादत खाना, महज़र, all these kind of thing that you need to focus. Mansabdari is very important. Always they put a question, the bureaucratic structure, the steel framework of the Mughal administration. Mansabdars are called as Mughal IAS officers. my teacher used to say when I was studying in college in Delhi University that Mansabdars are Mughal IAS officers. Jagirdari system, and then the concepts like Jagirdar, Zamindar, Iqtadar. क्या है ये? इक्तादार होने का क्या कंडीशन है? जागीरदार होने का क्या कंडीशन है? ज़मींदार क्या है? हु कॉइन्ड द वर्ड ज़मींदार? अमीर खुसरू कॉइन्ड द वर्ड ज़मींदार. दार इज ऑफिसर, ज़मीन का मालिक. दार ऑफिसर, हेड. देन जागीरदार, मनसबदार, इक्तादार, ज़मींदार, ये सब चीज़ पे बहुत फोकस रहता है. टाइप्स ऑफ पीजेंट्स, क्या टर्म हो रहा है यूज पीजेंट्स के लिए. कंक्वेस्ट ऑफ मुगल्स, व्हाट आर द इंपॉर्टेंट कंक्वेस्ट कैरीड आउट बाय अकबर. Short note on Zainul Abidin. Factors for the rise of Marathas. मराठा में हम लोग ये पढ़ते हैं. Facts about शिवाजी, इस पे फोकस करना है. शिवाजी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. Successors of Shivaji, just read about it and remember the chronology of the successor. कि शिवाजी के बाद कौन आया, उसके बाद कौन आया, उसके बाद कौन आया. Then पेशवास, जितने भी तरह के पेशवास, नाम उनका याद होना चाहिए. क्रोनोलॉजी, फोकस ऑन क्रोनोलॉजी. दे कैन अदरवाइज यूपीएससी हैज अ वेरी गुड टैक्टिक ऑफ टेकिंग स्टूडेंट फॉर अ राइड. आराम से घुमा देगा आपको, फंस जाएंगे आप. पता चला खूब पढ़ लिया आपने पेशवा के बारे में, मराठा के बारे में, आपको क्रोनोलॉजी नहीं पता. मराठा फैमिलीज एंड देयर हेडक्वार्टर्स, जैसे सिंधिया का कहाँ है, होलकर का कहाँ है, पवार का कहाँ है, भोसले का हेडक्वार्टर कहाँ है, पेशवा का कहाँ है. देन टर्मिनोलॉजीज रिलेटेड टू मराठास, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. मराठा ये जो मैं मार्क कर रहा हूँ, दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बाखर, देशमुख, सरंजम, पगा, ये सब और भी हैं. द लिस्ट इज एग्जॉस्टिव, दैट विल गिव यू. मिसलेनियस टॉपिक्स ऑफ मेडिवल इंडिया. Just take a look. Maratha is clear. Miscellaneous topics. Question asked 2004, 98, 2093, 2014, 18, 16. ये सब मैं पूछा है. Miscellaneous topics. Focus is on science and technology, like gunpowder से पूछा. Military technology. Then agriculture. They used to ask what are the important crops introduced by the foreigners. Urban revolution. The term given by Muhammad Habib, the father of Irfan Habib. Foreign invasion and Delhi Sultanate and Mughals. Types of land you need to focus. Grants in Sultanate and Mughal period, क्या क्या grants दिए जाते थे, उनके क्या नाम थे, what was the name of that grant. Taxation, अलग अलग तरीके का tax in Sultanate and Mughal, ये सब पे focus रखना है. These areas to be focused. Taxation क्या है, जजिया क्या है, घड़ी क्या है, सोन, the different names of the taxes, the terms used for those taxes, revenue terms, fiscal terms, you have to focus on. Divine aspects of kingship, the theory of kingship of Akbar, the theory of kingship of Balban, अलाउद्दीन खलजी, ये तीन का तो एकदम पढ़ना है. अकबर, बलबन, अलाउद्दीन खलजी. सूफी कनेक्शंस ऑफ द किंग्स एंड सुल्तान, कौन से सूफी सेंट से कौन से सुल्तान कनेक्टेड थे. सो रिलेशन विथ बिटवीन, ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. सी दिस रिलेशन यू नीड टू रिमेंबर. सुल्तान, नोबिलिटी, सुल्तान उलेमा, सुल्तान कैलिफ, दैट इज खलीफा. इस पे फोकस रखना है. व्हाट आर द एलिजिबिलिटी टू बिकम ए सुल्तान, ये भी जानना है. द लैंड ग्रांट ड्यूरिंग द मेडिवल पीरियड, फ्यूडलिज्म, फ्यूडल सिस्टम, इक्तादारी, जागीरदारी, नयनकारा, विजयनगर में. मिसलेनियस टॉपिक्स ऑफ मेडिवल इंडिया वही कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं. रेवेन्यू लैंड रेवेन्यू सिस्टम ऑफ मेडिवल इंडिया, एग्रीकल्चर एंड ट्रेड, ये सब पे फोकस रहना है. कॉइनेज इन मेडिवल इंडिया, फॉरेन ट्रैवलर्स एंड देयर अकाउंट्स, इस पे फोकस. छोटा छोटा 1-2 पेज का. कैटेगरी ऑफ पीजेंट्स, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिल्ली सल्तनत एंड मुगल्स, पही कश्त, खुद कश्त, दिस काइंड ऑफ टर्म्स. रॉयल विमेन इन सल्तनत एंड मुगल पीरियड. विमेन रूलर्स ऑफ मिडिवल इंडिया, वेरियस ट्रेडिंग क्लासेस, ये पूछा है, बंजारा है, नामर्दी है, शरौफ है, दीज आर बोराज है, चेट्टीज है, इस पे खूब फोकस रखना है, ये दीज एरियाज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इससे खूब क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा, ये सब फेवरेट है, यूपीएससी ऑलवेज आस्क सच क्वेश्चन, if you see the previous paper then you will get to know, it is in the light of the previous paper that I am telling you. Terminologies again देखिए आगे आप, the terms associated with, कैसे terms होंगे, with polity like fatwa, millat, ghazi, zimmis, darul harab, talu nagadi. Terms of Sultanate and Mughal period like Jeetal, साकिया, तक्कवी, सोंधार लोन्स, तक्कवी, हश्म कल्ब, जवाबिद, जोर तलब, महसूल, जारिब, खलीसा, कानकूत, ये सब पूछा है, एंड द लिस्ट इज एग्जॉस्टिव, बड़ा आपको लिस्ट मिलेगा, एंड दोज थिंग्स दैट वी कवर इन द मिड ऑफ द टॉपिक ऑल्सो, like in land revenue, taxation system, revenue system, administrative system, nature of state. Terms related to revenue system, फवाजिल, ये भी पूछा, उश्र, खम्स, घरी, माल, हुंडीज, खुद कष्ट, पही कष्ट, ये सब खूब पूछता है. You cannot leave this topic. This is very, very important. You have to make a list of terminology. We'll provide you the list of terminologies. Now the previous paper. With reference to the economic history of medieval India, the term Araghatta refers to, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन. अगेन द टर्म विच इज रिलेटेड टू एग्रीकल्चर, एग्रेरियन सिस्टम, इरिगेशन से. टेक अ लुक ऑफ द मंगोल्स अंडर चेंगिस खान, फॉरेन इन्वेजन दैट वी स्टडी, एंड व्हाट आर द मंगोल इन्वेजन, इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ मंगोल इन्वेजन, डिफरेंट मंगोल इन्वेजन हैपेंड इन डिफरेंट पीरियड, हाउ अलाउद्दीन खिलजी's commanders like Zafar Khan and Nusrat Khan were able to repulse the Mughal Mongols. So Mongol invasion is a very important topic in Sultanate that we will focus on. Genghis Khan का हुआ था इल्तुतमिश के टाइम में, you see. The Mongol Genghis Khan invaded India during the reign of, he was not able to invade India. This invasion was basically, the avoided because of the diplomatic reason given by Iltutmish. I'll come to that topic when we do that topic. Sultan of Delhi, who is reputed to build biggest network of canals. फिरोज शाह तुगलक के बारे में है ये. इबादत खाना, फतेहपुर सिकरी, अकबर्स रिलीजियस पॉलिसी. मूव बिहाइंड शाहजहां, कुछ थोड़ी बहुत स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक होंगी, प्लीज डोंट माइंड अबाउट दैट. मूव बिहाइंड शाहजहां बल्क कैंपेन, शाहजहां जब पढ़ेंगे पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री में, दैट इज इन दैट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग अबाउट शाहजहां, अदर पॉलिसीज, बल्क कैंपेन एंड द चेंजेस दैट ही मेड इन मनसबदारी सिस्टम, month scale system that he introduced. Then Battle of Dharmat during the time of Aurangzeb in the war of succession among the son of Shah Jahan. Asht Pradhan, Marathas question. Asht Pradhan, Asht matlab 8, Pradhan matlab minister, 8 ministers during the time of Maratha administration. Then you need to focus on the details of the terms of Asht Pradhan. पंडित कौन है, दाबिर कौन है, महांत, ये दिस काइंड ऑफ टर्म्स दैट यू नीड टू फोकस ऑन. आटो मिनिस्टर का क्या मतलब है टर्म्स का. मेंबर ऑफ शिवाजी इज अष्ट प्रधान टू लुक आफ्टर फॉरेन अफेयर्स. अब आ गया ना ये सब, पेशवा है, पंडित राव है, सचिव है, सुमांत है, इस टाइप से. With reference to the Mughal India, what are the difference between Jagirdar and Zamindar? Jagirdars were the holders of land. Yeah, recently they asked a question. Were holders of the land, and land assignments in the lieu of judicial and police duties, whereas zamindars were holders of revenue rights. So the point is that you have to focus on those areas that I told you. Jagirdari system, jagirdar kaun hai, zamindar kaun hai, iqtadar kaun hai. So this question was recently asked in 2019 on zamindari system and jagirdari system in the Mughal period. What are the important features of a zamindar? What are the important features of a jagirdar? Iqtadar, holder of a iqta. Iqta is a land or a province given to the officer. Then mansabdar. These are broader terms that you need to understand with minute details. Consider the following statement. In the revenue administration, Delhi Sultanate in charge of revenue collection, known as Amil. Again, Amil is a term related to revenue. We have to study the revenue system of the Mughals and Delhi Sultanate, the land revenue and the other fiscal policies of Mughals and Delhi Sultanate. It is a question from there. Again, the nature of state and administration, Iqta system, as I told you, these things you need to focus on rather than focusing on political and military history. South Indian history now, you see. Question asked in 2003, 95, 93, 2001, 16, 94, 95, 97, 16, 15, all these years, See, we have to study South Indian history separately so that we understand better South Indian history. That is why I skipped, the South Indian history in ancient and medieval, because we do it separately. What all things that we need to focus on? Satavahanas, Sangam age, what are important? Satavahanas, Sangam age, these are important. The Cholas, Pallava Chola conflict also we study. Pallavas, the feudatory of Pallavas were Cholas. Vijayanagar is very, very important. Bahmani is not very important. Then after that, breakup of the breaking of Bahmani results into Deccan Sultanate like Bidar, Berar and Ahmednagar. Literary activities in South India, land grant, this पे focus करना है. Literary activities में Sangam age, Vijayanagar, during the time of Krishna Dev Raya, then Cholas, this you need to focus on. See, Chola, Vijayanagar, these are two very important things. Then Sangam age. Sangam literature, how Sangam literature helps in the development of reconstruction of cultural history, political history, socio-economic history of that period. Various classes, various merchant guilds, the terms, terminologies, Amaram, Valangis, Vellala, Mandalam, Nadu, Manyam, Valanadu, Pagodas, Dabir, ये सब terms आपको पता होने चाहिए. So here in South India, Chola, that is Imperial Chola, Vijayanagar, Sangam period. These three are extremely important. ये तो एकदम focus रहना ही चाहिए इस पे. Then special focus on land rights, land tenure, land grants during this period. Then various merchant guilds, terminologies, then they keep on asking question from such topics. Previous paper, consider the following statement. The Cholas defeated the Pandyas and Cheras rulers and established their domination over peninsular India in the early medieval times. The Cholas sent an expedition, second statement, expedition against the Shailendra Empire in Southeast Asia and conquered some areas. The imperial Cholas were known for their imperial exercise. Which of the following statements are correct? इसमें से correct क्या? See, it is again related to political history, military history of Cholas. So as I told you, you have to focus on Chola. And suppose if they ask what all things you have to focus on Cholas, the political history, the the administration of Cholas, the local self-government, the inscription which gives information about local self-government, Taramerur inscription, and with that we study in the list of inscription also in ancient time, ancient India, and then the the imperial exploits of Rajendra Chola, and segmentary state, nature of state that we study, the terms is associated to trade, agriculture, land, revenue system. These all things we need to focus on. In context to the history of, consider the following pairs: terms, descriptions. These are the terms and the description. As I told you, terminology is a favorite topic of UPSC. They keep asking terminologies from ancient India, and I told you what all things they ask: medieval India, and from culture also to an extent. So again, terminologies question. Ghatika as for example. All these we will discuss in the classroom. 2016 का क्वेश्चन है टर्म्स का, terms and description. I told you they always focus on such things. Yavana Priya mentioned in ancient Sanskrit text denoted a fine variety of Indian muslin, ivory, damsel sent to Greek court for dance performance, and pepper. Pepper is the right answer. Then with reference to the cultural history of medieval India, consider the following statements. Siddhas of Tamil region were monotheistic and condemned idolatry. Lingayats, again see, this question is related to the religion and culture, which is related to South India also and medieval also, medieval South India you can say. So then चंडेला, चालुक्य, पल्लवा, इसीलिए इसमें मैंने क्लासीफाई किया है. गुप्ता, चंडेला, चालुक्य, अगेन साउथ इंडिया से क्वेश्चन है. फॉलोइंग वाज अ कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ मर्चेंट्स इन एंशिएंट इंडिया. एंशिएंट इंडिया का ये क्वेश्चन है. मनीग्रामम इज द राइट आंसर, which is the part of South Indian history. As I told you, it is a part of trade and economy. Which of the following a new city in the south bank of tributary of river Krishna and undertook the rule of his new kingdoms as agent of deity to whom all the lands south of river Krishna was supposed to belong? Amog Varsha, Harihara, Ballala, Pratapara, Rudra 2. ये भी it is related to the political history of Vijayanagar. So Indian art and culture after ancient and medieval, and south we did ancient, medieval, south, and then art and culture. These are the topics for the art and culture. I have written on ancient India. This is culture and culture. Indian architecture and sculpture. This is very important topic. Indian paintings, second topic, which is very important. Indian music, Indian dance forms, then religion and philosophies, Indian literature, ancient, medieval, modern, then science and technology, fairs and festival also to an extent, cultural institutions, this is culture, Bhakti and Sufi movement, recent geographical indications, coins in ancient and medieval that we do in ancient and medieval also, UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. So these are the important topics that we need to focus on. That is the Indian architecture, Indian painting. These are very important things. So you remember one thing, that if you do architecture, painting, music, dance, literature, and the religious philosophies, religion, if you cover these topics, then you cover around 90% of the syllabus of the Indian art and culture. Rest is very petty small topics like martial arts and fairs and festivals, language and script and law and cultural institutions. All these kind of things are very small topics, but focus should be on these topics. Let's take a look of the Indian architecture and sculpture. Here we focus on Harappan architecture, that is seals, bronze figures, pottery, terracotta figurines, terracotta sculpture, stone sculpture, ornaments and jewelry. All these things are important for this. We study in ancient India also. Pre-Maurya art is another thing, that the beginning of the Buddhist architecture. Mauryan architecture is very important. General characteristics, palaces, pillars, folk sculptures, stupas, caves, these are very important. Post-Maurya architecture, general characteristics of the post-Maurya architecture, that is caves, Ajanta and other caves. The folk sculpture, this sculpture, that is the Gandhara, Mathura, Amravati, Amravati School of Architecture, sculptural architecture. As I told you, in post-Maurya period there was rise of Mahayana Buddhism and Buddha was considered as God, and then we study the sculptural architecture, because when Buddha was considered as God, he was worshipped. Pillars also that we focus on. Gupta architecture, general characteristics, and then caves and pillars, sculptures, temple architecture. Temple architecture begins here, the humble beginning of temple architecture. See, in art and architecture, two things are very essential: Buddhist architecture and temple architecture. Temple architecture starts with Gupta period, and then early medieval times, Nagar style of architecture, and in South India, Dravid style of architecture. There we study Cholas and Vijayanagar and Pallavas and Chalukyas. Here we study Odishan and Rajasthani and Gujarati, Khajuraho style of architecture in temple architecture, which is a very mess. So two important things that you need to focus: Buddhist architecture and temple architecture. Buddhist architecture starts with pre-Maurya period and ends till post-Gupta period also we find. Post-Gupta mainly caves, focusing on temple architecture. As I told you, the terms related to what are the important architectural features of temple that you need to focus on, especially Nagar and Dravid, and then Visara style, that is Chalukyan style of architecture, that is the mix of Nagar and Dravid. Indo-Islamic architecture, the architecture of Sultanate period, arches, domes, tombs, minarets, ornamentations, this is important. Mughal architecture, always important, but remember, again I tell you, temple architecture and Buddhist are very important for prelims and mains, but we cannot ignore Mughal and architecture of Delhi Sultanate. Here also arches, domes, tombs, minarets, ornamentation. Cities and their founder, important cities and their founders, like Deen Panah and Jahan Panah and other cities. Historical buildings and their builders, this is also important. इसको भी पढ़ लेना है एक पेज में. British architecture, modern architecture, or Indo-Saracenic architecture. Buddhist architecture, as I told you, keeping focus, पहले कर लिया discuss. So Buddhist architecture, special focus on Buddhist and temple architecture. फिर से बता दिया मैंने, special focus on Buddhist and temple architecture. Major Buddhist pilgrimage site like monasteries and all that. Major Jain pilgrimage sites, various cities of Delhi, Mughal gardens. These are the area that I've marked, which is important, which you can focus on prelims and from where they ask the question. Question asked Indo-Islamic architecture, Delhi Sultanate, Mughal, regional 2018 में. Temple architecture देखिए कितना क्वेश्चन पूछा है. 17, 16, 12, 9, 7, 6, 2, 1. Buddhist architecture 14 and 13. Harappan architecture 11. And you know these years 10, 93 and 17 and this. This is basically not Harappan. This is a general, you know, the question on the art and architecture. Beside these ages, Indian paintings, prehistoric art, Bhimbetka painting, paintings of Harappan civilization, painting of Vedic age, post-Mauryan painting. This is important. Gupta painting. This is important. Paintings in post-Gupta period. Then Mughal painting, miniature painting, Rajasthani painting. They asked a question. Bani Dhani, for example, very important. Influence and connection with Mughal painting. Mughal painting is very important. Pahadi painting is important. Madhubani is important. Angika art, that is, you know, the art developed in Bhagalpur region. Kalamkari painting, they can ask you. Kalamkari. In PT also they have asked. Mural painting, South Indian painting, Pala school of painting, classification of painting on the basis of material used, paintings of modern age. But the marked ones are very, very important. Mural painting. These things you need to focus on. The subject matter, the subject matter of the painting, who painted it, religious है या secular है, किस period का है. These things that you need to remember. What are the type of color used? What is the nature of the brush? The type of brush used. Questions as Rajputi, that is, you know, Bani Dhani, they have asked. Janta painting, mural painting, ये सब question पूछा है PSC ने. Indian puppetry is okay, it's not very important, but they can ask you these things that you need to focus on. Origin of puppetry, string puppets, rod puppets, shadow puppets, glove puppets. These are the important, you know, the areas. Indian dance forms. Here, this is a very important topic. इससे question खूब पूछा जाता है PT में. In the main exam, Tandav they asked in the main exam also. Origin of dance, classical dance, various forms of classical dance, you know, like Bharatnatyam, Kathak, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, Manipuri, Satariya dance. All these dance, origin of classical dance, what is Tandav, types of Tandav dance, what is the genesis of Tandav, these type of thing. Different postures in dance, like what is Tribhanga style of dance, what is the posture called as a Bhanga, Tribhanga, all these things. Folk dance, what is the difference between folk dance and classical dance, what are the important folk dance, what are the important classical dance, the personality associated with the classical dance, these things that you need to focus on. Take a look of the another slide. Indian music, origin and historical background of Indian, very important topic. For last year also there was a question in the prelims. Carnatic and Hindustani music. Carnatic is South Indian music, Hindustani is North Indian music. Carnatic is religious, Hindustani is secular. Carnatic is vocal, Hindustani is, you know, the instrumental. Gharanas, that is families in music that you need to focus on. Hindustani and Carnatic music compositions, this you need to focus on. Isme sab important. You cannot skip anything. Various ragas, you know, what is Bhairava, for example, Bhairava raga, it comes from the throat of Bhairavanath, that is Lord Shiva. So, for freshness, musical instruments and related personalities, ये focus करना है. Chief characteristics of classical music. Important historical personalities like Amir Khusru, Tansen, Baiju Bawra, all etc. Other important personalities. The important literature written on music, you know, music during Mughals. Tyagaraja Kriti, that was asked, you know, in 2018 related to it. Mangayars 2014, Drupad is one of the Hindustani composition, music composition. Indian literature, then question asked in 2016, 2004, 2003, 96, 97, 98, 93 and 94. Vedic literature, we study in ancient India also. Sangam literature in Sangam age in South India we study. But they ask in the main exam also in culture section. Sanskrit literature, Hindu literature in ancient India, literature in Pali and Prakrit, Buddhist literature, Jaina literature, Sikh literature. Important ones are this is very important. Buddhist literature is important. Then handicrafts. This is not a very important topic, but yes, they can put a question on this topic. These Indian handicrafts. What is cloth handicraft? This is, you can say, embroidery. This is important. These two are in clay and pottery work. You can just take a look of this. This topic in general is not very important, but yes, if certain thing they ask, they can ask on these topic. Crafts, kalamkari painting, which is a part of painting, only already discussed with you. Kalamkari, pen craft. Indian theatre, classical and classical Sanskrit theatre, folk theatre, theatres of entertainment, part of India, theatres of South India, modern Indian theatre, ये पे focus कर लीजिए. Not a very important topic, but yes, you can glance through it. Martial arts, इससे पूछा है UPSC ने 2014. सिलंबम, गटका, लाठी, ये सब पे focus. It takes few, couple of hours to read this. Not a very, but yes, very important topic, but they can ask you because in the previous year they have asked this question from this topic. तो इसमें मार्शल आर्ट्स के बारे में थोड़ा देख लेना है आपको. मार्शल आर्ट्स क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड. Then Indo-Aryan groups of languages, Dravidian group, Sino-Tibetan group. These are the basically the language and culture of culture. So you can focus on this. This again is, I will not suggest you that this is a very important topic. Yes, but you can focus on the ancient scripts of now you see the previous paper. Paintings of Bodhisattva and Padmapani is one of the most famous and illustrated paintings. Again, it is related to painting. Which of the following is famous for sun temples? Again, temple architecture. With reference to cultural history of India, terms as Panchayatan refers to. Panchayatan is a type of style in temple architecture. Panch is 5, Yatan is image, 5 shrine, you can say 5 shrine of the gods and goddesses that we study in Panchayatan, Ashtayatan, that we study in temple architecture, which I told you is very important. Which one of the following books of ancient India has love story of the son of the founder of Sunga dynasty? Again, this is a part of literature. Malvika Agnimitra is the right answer. Consider the following statement. Bijak is a composition of teachings of Saint of Dadu Dayal. Philosophy of Pushti Marg. It is related to Sufi and Bhakti. Sufi and Bhakti that we do in religion and philosophy. Among the following, who was not a proponent of Bhakti cult? It is again a question from Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement. Take a look to the next question. Which of the following foreign travelers elaborately discussed about diamonds and diamond mines? Foreign travelers. This Jean-Baptiste Tavernier came in the medieval times. Well-known painting Bani Dhani. Can just correct the spelling, Dhani. Please don't mind about, there are some errors which are seen in the slide, so please try to ignore it, and apologies also. In context of the cultural history of India, a pose in this dance, and again the question from dance, you have to focus on the different dance forms and the postures. Atibhanga and Tribhanga, all these kind of postures. Tribhanga, as I told you. With reference to the Buddhist history, tradition and culture in India, consider the following pairs. The famous shrines of Buddhists, and again the locations. They keep on asking this, the monasteries and other. बुद्धिज्म से रिलेटेड है. With reference to Manipuri Sankirtana, consider the following statement. It is a song and a dance. Again, it is related to Bhakti movement. Consider the following pairs. Again, it is related to Garba, Mohiniyattam. It is related to dance. How do you distinguish between the Kuchipudi and Bharatnatyam? Again, dance, as I told you, always favorite of UPSC. The features you need to remember of Kuchipudi and then Bharatnatyam. What are the important features? With reference to Manipur Puri Sankirtana, consider the following statement. It is again a repetition of the question related to Bhakti movement. With reference to cultural history of India, consider the following statement. Most of the Tyagaraja Kritis, devotional songs and praises of Lord Krishna, again it's related to Bhakti movement and dance, classical dance. It is asked in 2018. The painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani is one of the famous illustrated paintings. Again, painting se hai. Consider the following. Saint Nimbarka was contemporary of Akbar. This is a question from Bhakti movement. Reference to Mia Tansen. Which one of the following statement is not correct? Related to music. Last year's paper. Who among the following Mughal emperor shifted emphasis from illustrated manuscripts to album and individual portrait? Humayun, and this is again painting, Mughal painting. Religion and philosophy, which is a part of culture only. All popular religions. This is not a very important topic. Various heterodox sects, like 64 heterodox sects from 600 to 300 BC. Buddhism and Jainism, extremely important, very important. Shaivism and its various sects. Bhagavatism, sixth system of philosophy, very important. So you need to focus on Buddhism and Jainism here. See how many years they asked a question. Almost all the years, you can say, or they can skip 1 or 2 years, otherwise they keep on asking it. Indian cinema, just give a reading to it. Don't invest much time here. Science and technology, mathematics, medicine, science and technology, you know, that developed in ancient, that we do, plus medieval, that we do in ancient and medieval also. ये उधर भी complete हो जाता है. Fairs and festivals of India. Fairs and festival is not a very important topic, but yes, questions can be asked. In 2017 only they asked a question. The Hindu festival and the Muslim festival, and you know, the not those festivals, you know, which are very popular ones, like, you know, Jallikattu, for example, Onam, Pongal, all these kind of things. Festivals of northeastern India, fairs of India, you need to remember. पारसी, ये थोड़ा सा इस पे फोकस कर लीजिए. Law and culture, it is again not very important, which you can take the source of, you know, the India yearbook also. There are certain things, the law associated with the culture, these are the important laws. The cultural institutions, you know, like the various cultural institution like Sahitya Academy and Sangeet Natak Academy and Lalit Kala and all these, you can just read off All India Radio, just give a reading to it. Don't waste much time in, you know, reading these things. Bhakti and Sufi movement, क्वेश्चन उधर अभी हम लोगों ने कुछ किया भी था कि किससे पूछा जाता है. Very important topic, you need to remember this. Origin and development of Bhakti movement, origin and development of Sufi movement, the conceptual part, and who influenced whom. Bhakti influenced Sufi or Sufi influenced Bhakti, though there is a debate on this. Impact of Sufi and Bhakti movement on society, very important, कुछ नहीं छोड़ सकते इसमें, because they ask in main exam also. Organization and silsilas, that is order in Sufi movement. कौन कौन सिलसिला है? चिश्ती ऑर्डर है, सोहरावर्दी है, कलंदरिया है, फिरदौसी है. Various forms of Bhakti movement, forms like Bengal devotionalism, Maharashtra Dharma, you know, North India Vaishnavite movement, all these kind of things. Literature related to Sufi and Bhakti movement, ये सब important है. You cannot skip anything from this topic. Role of Sufi and Bhakti movement in social harmony, they ask in Sikh Gurus. When we study about monotheistic movement, one of the form of the Bhakti movement, there we study Sikh Gurus also, and their all the Sikh Gurus and their activities, important development during their time. Saints of Bhakti movement, you know, all the saints of Bhakti movement focusing on Shankaracharya, Ramanuja, Ramananda, Kabir, Nanak, Chaitanya, Nimbarkacharya, Vallabhacharya, Mirabai, Tulsidas, Namdev, Shankardev, Surdas, Ramdas, Tukaram, Ganeshwar, and Basava. Basava, you know, South India. Sufi orders and their prominent Sufi saints like Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti, Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, and you know, other saints like Gesu Daraz, and their contemporary rulers at that time. What was the influence of those Sufi saints on society, religion and culture? What was the influence of Sufism and Bhakti movement in the development of economy, in the development of culture, literature, these kind of things that you need to focus on. This is very important. This is also very important. You cannot skip anything from this topic. Recent geographical indicators, it is always there, you know, in the coming in paper, they ask question from here also. What all things are registered in the geographical indications? What are the eligibility of bringing those things in geographical indication? UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. This also you can just glance what are the important, you know, monuments or sites which are included there. Coins in ancient and medieval India. What are the important coins that we have already, you know, I've already discussed with you in ancient coins and medieval coins. Coins in ancient time and coins in medieval times. Indo-Greek coins, Panjmark coins, coined by Satavahanas, coins in Western satraps, in Indo-Scythians. इस पे फोकस करिए, इस पे करिए, इस पे करिए फोकस. गुप्ता मेंस में ही पूछा इन कल्चर, दे आस्क्ड यू इन मेंस. देन यू नो Mughal coinage. These are the area that you need to focus on. Previous year's paper. With reference of the religious history of India, consider the following statement. See, this is the part of Buddhism. The question, maximum question from religion and philosophy comes from Buddhism and Jainism. So it is from Buddhism. You see, this question was asked in 2016. With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statement. Again, Swatantrika, it is related to Jainism. It is a favorite topic of UPSC. Buddhism and Jainism we study in culture, and to an extent we study in ancient India also in pre-Maurya period, so that you properly understand in the culture section. Anekantavada is core theory of the philosophy of which one of the following? Anekantavada is related to Jainism. Again, it is a question from Jainism. Which one of the following statement is applicable to Jaina doctrine? Again, related to Jainism. Which of the following pair does not form the part of sixth system of philosophy? Sixth system of philosophy, you know, it is a part of religion and philosophy. Sixth system of philosophy is very important after Buddhism and Jainism. Then we study Bhagavatism and, you know, Vaishnavism and Shaivism, the forms of Shaivism. So this is this type of question that they ask. If you know the sixth system of philosophy, you can just figure out what is the correct answer. So this is the correct answer, Lokayukta and Kapalika. So therefore we finish all the sections of ancient India, medieval India, culture, and I discuss with you what are the important sections of these modules. In this session, in the last session, I discussed with you the modern India in the session 1 of the prelims trend analysis of the question paper, how they ask how to study history, what are the important things that you need to focus on. See, for ancient India, you need to focus on the material of Drishti if you join the course, and ancient India, R.S. Sharma, and the previous year's paper, and the understanding in the classroom that you get, previous year's paper of different exams. For medieval India, you need to focus on few topics, important topics of Satish Chandra, old NCERT, and Drishti material, which covers all the topic meticulously, and the previous year's paper. And culture section also we have the material, the culture section of Drishti IS, and the NCERT book of 11th standard, new NCERT book, and you can refer one standard book which is there in the market. Don't go for much books, and these standard material that you use, which will help you to pass the prelims exam, focusing on these areas. I again repeat, don't focus much on political and military history. Try to focus on socio-economic, cultural, and, you know, agrarian and land revenue, these type of things that you need to focus on. And then the culture part also, I have explained you what all areas are important. If you study painting and, you know, Indian art and architecture and dance and music and religious philosophies like, you know, the philosophy, the Bhakti movement and Sufi movement and Jainism and Buddhism. Bhakti movement and Sufi movement is very, very important for both prelims and mains, Jainism and Buddhism, and, you know, Bhagavatism. So philosophy of Ramanuja, Shankaracharya, and, you know, Bhakti movement, that all Bhakti saints that we you need to focus on. So, you know, we cover ancient medieval culture. South India also I explained you. South India will, you know, will be covered from ancient NCERT, that is R.S. Sharma, and medieval NCERT, that is Satish Chandra old NCERT, which is available in the photocopy form, or it is also republished by some other publication. So you can easily get the availability of those material, and above all our material and the classroom session along with the previous paper. I hope that this session of ancient medieval culture and the last session, the lecture 1, that was on modern India, would be of great help to you, and thank you for patient hearing.